This is me just recording what I do in 3ds Max. So this is that opening shot. This here is a timeline of the events that of the frame. If I just jump to perspective here, you can be able to see this camera here. So all I do is I keyframe the movement of this camera through the aeroplane and then back out again. This shutter as well in the same way. So if I just click on this camera, or this is camera 3, you see it's this here, and here are the keyframes at the bottom. You can move these around and it will take longer. You can auto keyframe it or add keyframes yourself. So now it will add a little keyframe at the bottom there. That will go up and destroy the shot before it comes back down and it's all fucked. So that's what I did here. I just downloaded this plane from the internet and made those houses, and my friend had those clouds, and I stole the skeleton. Okay, so if we take this shot here, this is the girl waiting at the window. This is the guy driving the car swings open, it's kind of chassis detaches and stuff happens. So if I jump to perspective, what I've done here is I've surrounded all these houses here with these little figures. In the centre, this is the same skeleton model, and if you see, it's got keyframes down here. It's got these little. So all I've done is I've got it, I've auto keyframed it, and I've dragged it along like this. Moved it along, and then I've dragged it along a bit more. That's how I did it. And this car here I just downloaded off the internet and sort of fucked up. So this is just going to be a walkthrough of the filters I used. So for this beginning here, I got some stock like visual distortion online. I got some. I corrupted the video, and then I just sort of just chopped the beginning up and then stuck that on here. So here, this is 2 different layers. One's set to darken and sharpen, and the other one's just set to sharpen. This is just high contrasted, sort of standard footage. I have no idea why these purple distortion marks happen. So here you can see the inside of the clouds are kind of shaking next because they have a bad TV filter applied, and then they're sharpened and set to darken, set to lighten on top. So here is me modelling in time-lapse in Autodesk Inventor. On top of that are me messing around in 3ds Max, destroying the skeleton model I downloaded online, as well as me in Inventor moving around and looking at the house a bit with some like filters on, and then it's also just got some standard. It's got darkened and layered up. Here is some footage I removed the keyframes from and layered on top of each other. So here is two different layers again, like the original plane shot. One set to darken, the other one set to difference. So it creates this red skeleton. The skeleton in the actual thing is like mauvey teal, but I've boosted the color correction to the point where any color is just destroyed and it's super red, and that was just standard keyframe animation to get that skeleton to walk. Here is that same sort of keyframe deletion. I convert online to AVI and then use VLC to convert it to MPEG-4, and it just fucks the beginning of the shot. So here the skeleton walks into the car, which is keyframed when he's in the car. A screen pops up behind him. I alpha, take that thing out, then I apply a like a time wavy thing to it. Here is the sort of the same effect as the other one, except for I put a darkened layer on top of it and put a delay on it. So the darkened shadow's taken a while to get there. And this last shot I converted in the same way, but instead of losing the keyframes, it left that weird green artifact and I just left it in.